So I watched Presidential Punch-Out, Cheap Thrills, and Fashion Forward, and all of them were blank. Only 14 episodes to go! I'll only talk about Fashion Forward. It is the only interesting episode among these three. Presidential Punch-Out is a presidential debate episode you've probably seen before and executed better, and Cheap Thrills is just a rip-off of Helter Skelter. So the episode starts with the two villains from Bye Bye Bellum, and I already hate this episode. I've heard from some people that they were okay with these villains. Personally, I haven't found anything appealing about these people. Plus, the human lady reminds me of that revolving villain from a made-up story. To be fair, I like her more than this. So, a TV network airs a commercial made by the terrible twosome advertising these clothes they were selling. It's clear the people of Talisman haven't watched or read The Dark Knight Returns, so the Powerpuff Girls, being amazing heroes they are, get interested in the clothes the terrible twosome are selling. Did they forget they were villains once? At least Batman was suspecting something horrible from the Joker in The Dark Knight Returns, but these three so-called heroes fall into the trap of the villain in less than 3 minutes. However, I want to talk about how strange the whole commercial thing is. What channel would be willing to advertise a product from two ex-convicts? First of all, have you seen the slogan for the product? It's "Looks are everything." Now, of course, sellers would want their buyers to have that attitude in order to keep buying their junk, but would they really just expose this controversial slogan? What's even worse is that the parents ended up buying the clothes to their daughters, so the professor was the only one bothered by this slogan? I have another question, by the way. Did this commercial air in a kid's television? It isn't very clear, but if the girls were watching this commercial, it's likely it came from a kid's television network, which is freaky. A broadcasting channel for kids was airing a commercial advertising a product with a controversial slogan and made by two ex-convicts. That's kind of messed up. So the girls ask the professor to buy the clothes, but he refuses. Everybody in school bought those clothes and they start alienating the Powerpuff Girls. They say they're for monsters, but let's treat them like crap anyway. So the girls, falling into temptation, dishonor their father's word by buying some of the villains' products, and they start taking freaking selfies. Hey, I want to see more of that action. The professor gets mad at them and removes the accessories from them. Blossom, still being driven by temptation, steals her accessory from the professor. This is our leader, everyone. Blossom just defied the professor because she's solely interested in what other people from school think of her, to the point of stealing. Now, Blossom has stolen before, but at least she had good intentions. It was intended to make the professor happy, but here she's only doing it for herself. She wants to look aesthetically pleasant for her peers. This is the second time one of our three main characters did something despicable because of beauty-related nonsense. So we learn at the end of that the products the terrible twosome were selling had hypnosis effects. So the terrible twosome were commending everyone in Townsville, including Blossom. The professor and the two remaining girls find that out, and they go after Blossom. Here's what really bothers me about this moment: the professor. The professor acts like a freaking idiot throughout the entire time. He doesn't notice that his daughter is clearly being hypnotized. He just keeps acting like a cliche dorky dad. And when the villains command Blossom to attack him, he doesn't ask Bubbles and Buttercup for help because funny. But what's even dumber than the professor himself is the way he saves the day. After the gorillas started pursuing him, he accidentally throws the hypnotic selfie stick device. Wait, hypnotic selfie stick device? Is this what these villains are going to be about, doing super villainy things with trendy things? He accidentally throws a hypnotic selfie stick device to the screen, destroying it and breaking the spell. Not only is that convenient, but also impossible. Where did the professor get the strength to throw a selfie stick into the screen from that distance? By accident. Oh well, I guess the episode just had to end with the villains being defeated, even if it meant disobeying the laws of physics. Anyway, the professor saved the day, and in the last scenes we seen Blossom doing chores as punishment for stealing from the professor. Does she feel guilty for doing it? I have no freaking idea. I mean, she does receive punishment and is anxious to finish the chores, but that doesn't necessarily mean she feels remorse. Heck, she might just be doing the chores to satisfy the professor without feeling no regret for what she did. Blossom felt sorry for stealing the golf club the other time she stole something, and she didn't even do it selfishly. Her feelings towards stealing from the professor is vague, and that's not good enough for me. But who cares, the professor takes the girls out, happy ending, the end. This is a show that received 8 out of 10 from IGN, everybody. So as you can tell, I didn't like this episode. The girls continue to be bad heroes, their colleagues in school continue being unrealistically jerked to them, simply for the sake of the girls relating to the audience. Blossom acts stupidly, and the professor's a complete idiot. You also have to deal with selfie references, which is silly and not in a good way. One of these days, I have to check if this is getting a second season. I hope not. I also hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye for now.